ain't going to make a commitment, because he's making a commitment to himself to fulfill what he envisions he can experience with this person. And you got to do the same. And then you got to talk about it. See? You got to talk about it. Okay, so let's say this, we're going to talk about limerence again. How did that happen? Well, we went on a date and we had this and we kissed, and it was just, I just knew he was the one. Really? What do you know about him? Did you ask him any questions? Did you ask him what he's looking for in life? Did you ask him if he wanted to actually, if this was a hookup date, or this was a date to explore possible relationship because he's ready for a relationship? Oh, nobody does that. Really? Why? If I go out with a new guy, I want to know what he's up to. What are you up to? And what do you want? And what are you looking for in a relationship? And what was it about me that attracted you? I want to know all that information, and I'm not going to make it up. I'm going to have to ask. I have to ask all those things. And when I get the answers, I'm going to notice whether he asks me those questions. See, because if we're not both doing it and we're both taking each other's information in, and we're both discovering whether we're up to the same thing or not, and we want the same things out of life, then we're just writing scripts, and they're an actor they're just a person we're going to project our little fantasy on, and then we interviewed them, and they were great for the part. But it has nothing to do with them. It has to do with you and script writing. Really? Cannot tell you the number of women that I have conversations with that all are working out of this script that they've written. They're in no way, shape, or form showing up, making contact with another human being, discovering who they were, exploring with that person any kind of possibility. We want the same things. You have no idea how little communication I observe that occurred or didn't occur when someone brings it in to work on a problem. I'm like, did you guys have a conversation about that? The woman goes off with all of her ideas about who he is and how he is, and you can't blah, 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 and you can't talk to her. I said, did you ask him a question? He goes, no. She never asks a question. And if she doesn't like what I say, then I'm bad and wrong. And I've got the problem. And now we're having a fight. Because there's nothing I can say or do that's right. I was at a family event during the holidays, and my goddaughter's dear friend was talking about this guy and blah, 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 and he's just not, and I just went, whoa, up. How old is this guy? She said, he's 38. He's never been married. I said, oh, so he doesn't know anything about partnership. He's never had a partner. Is that correct? He's very accepting. I said, did you answer my question? She goes, no, I don't think he's ever had a partner. I said, oh, so he doesn't know anything about partnership. He's been alone for 38 years. And everything you're criticizing and holding him accountable for, he actually is not capable of, because he's actually never done it. Why are you mad at him? You've only had 3 dates. And if you're really wanting to be a good partner to someone who's never had a partner, to provide him with an opportunity to have an experience of partnership, you're going to have to show up as a partner. She went. I said, that requires a conversation. not a whole bunch of expectations he's already failed to provide. How are you going to get what you want if you can't even communicate with another person from where they are? Or the woman whose life totally fell apart when he decided he didn't want to continue a relationship after a year. Said he doesn't want the same life you want. You're wanting a life partner. He's already had all of that and has all his kids, and he has no interest in marriage or life partnership for the last chapter of his life. And that's what you want, and he doesn't want it. So he now asks women that he goes out with if they want to get married, and they say no, they can date. If they say yes, he doesn't want them, because he doesn't want to get married. He's already decided he had that and he doesn't want it again. But it happened in a conversation, and this person's life was devastated. He didn't want the same thing you wanted. When were you going to get around and ask what he was looking for? If you don't, and then you get there where you think it's all done, and he goes, I don't want that. See ya. I would actually like to date a number of women. He didn't betray you. He didn't even make an agreement to have only one woman in his life. And you never ask, so the whole thing blows up, and you act like you're a victim. You're a victim of not communicating. And he's a victim of not being clearer with you as you were going through this process, that what you wanted, he did not want, because you were making it pretty clear what you did want. He decided he didn't, but he never told you. He just started dating other women. Oops. See how we are? We're all like this. Unless we show up, we take somebody in, we explore who they are, we discover more about them, and we ask questions. Likelihood is you're going to get what you want if you're asking questions and getting to know each other, and you're not creating a script going around in your head and interviewing people to play the part in your fantasy. Hope that was helpful. Have a great day. Okay, Godmother here. Who's having a hard time? Well, the whole human race. Let's start there. The whole human race is in big wad of doo-doo. It ain't going well on our planet. We've got wars. We've got people trying to take over. We've got democracy. You know, we're told every day democracy is not going to make it if we don't, blah, blah, blah. And it's Valentine's Day, and if you don't have somebody to love, might not be good. And for all of you water and earth people, with all of this activity going on in fire and air, this might be the opportunity for you to unmask your challenge. Now, if you prepared for this time, when Capricorn, when all those planets were in Capricorn, which is heavy cardinal earth, climbing from the bottom, getting to the top, achieving your goals, blah, blah, all that. If you did your work, then you already know what it is that you want to manifest in your life at this time. Now, if you have a vision, it's easier to manifest. But Saturn's in there in the middle, at the very beginning of Aries with Neptune. So if you're water, you might have boiling water. What didn't you take care of? What could go wrong might probably go wrong, right? And if you're an earth sign, you may feel like it's just all falling apart, that it's everything that you thought was isn't, and what are you going to do, and things aren't going well. Okay, what do you do when all that happens? Start over. And it just so happens that you're in a 1 year, so perfect. Okay, so it's awful. Now, you can have a pity party. Go ahead and have a pity party. Do your old wah, 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 wah. We all do. And now sit down and go, oh, fresh cement. It's all wet. And whatever I vision clearly is going into the cement that will, actually, let's just make it dirt. Okay, because it's earth. Okay, let's just grow it to where we want it to go. Okay, so we'll plant the seeds in the earth in this wonderful plot of land, plot of manifestation in front of us. Notice that I'm not talking about the, oh, it fell apart and why it fell apart and la, 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 la. All that. See, you got to water what you want to grow. You can't be watering what you don't want, because it'll just keep being and growing and feeding and all of that. It can take over the map. Start over. Let go. That's gone. It's already happened. It did. It's done. Done. The end. Done. Start over. I know, but that's so hard. No, it's a choice. It's not hard. Believe me, it's not hard. I have to do it all the time. I understand very well what I'm saying. Yeah, start over. And the first question is, what would it be like if everything was the way I wanted it to be? And that's called a vision. What would that feel like? Oh, that would be, thank you. And yes, raises your frequency. Now you're in gratitude that you can vision it. And that naggy old stuff that's still all broken and over there in a heap, notice it and come right back to vision. Notice it and come right back to vision. Notice it and come back to breath. And you have to practice. It takes 21 days to change anything, because that's how the brain works. Okay? Now, focus on what you want. Water the vision. If you get dragged into the then drag yourself back. This is where I water. I water my vision. And I grow it into reality. And I forgive myself for not knowing what I did not know. And now I've learned that did not work.